For nearly as long as there's been people, there's been trade. Imports are any good or services brought in from one country to another, while exports are goods and services produced in the home country for sale to the other markets. The modern system of international trade is a complex web of import-export businesses that handle the sale, distribution, and delivery of goods from one nation to another. If you are interested in starting a business in this industry, know that there is more than one type of import-export business. You could focus just on importing or just on exporting. You could be a manufacturer's representative, specializing in a certain industry, or you could be an import-export merchant or agent, which is more of a freelance broker. If you are interested in starting an import-export business, there are a ton of considerations you need to make.
So, here's our first step, getting the basics in order. What does basics means? Well, anyone in the 21st century who wants to start a business in international trade field have to cover certain bases, like creating a website, joining social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, YouTube, and a host of others. Do you know why? Because these platforms, the digital world, will make you reachable. International trade, import-export business, or any other sector in this field, in this industry, requires credibility. We have to trust you, and you have to be a trustable organization. The first step, get your website working. Go for high ranking in Google. Don't forget to study about SEO ranking. For sure, work on your social media platforms, because they will make you rank higher in CRM and lots of other things which will be discussed in other videos. So besides supporting your digital world, you have to take care of your real-time world. What does it mean? Well, it means, if you just remember, I told you that international trade is all about credibility. It is all about proving that your organization is trustable. Okay? How does it work in real time? Number one, you have to get legalized. In order for that, part of your business plan has to cover these rules and regulations in order to get any certification, any license to make your activities legalized. This is an important thing. Don't forget about that. Let's get to the other step. Here's our second step. Pick a product to import or export. Well, find a product or industry that you think you are passionate about and you also think that you could sell in international markets. After finding the right product, identify the right market. The best products for international trade are those products that are becoming popular in those markets, or products which show promise of being sold in future. Well, here's a tip for you. In order to find your product and also do your market research, you can conduct research with resources like Global Edge Market Potential Index, or by checking with local government official and websites such as the Department of Commercial International Trade Administration's data and analysis. You can also find reports on the state of the import or export industry with the Census Bureau Foreign Trade. With this tip mentioned, let's get to our third step. Step number 3, source your supplier. Once you have a product which you can internationally trade, it's time for you to find a supplier or a local manufacturer which can make that product. A strong relationship with a manufacturer or a supplier is crucial for long-running success in an import-export business. You'll need to convince the supplier of the benefits of entering into international markets and figure out the logistics of taking their product from their local warehouses to another ones, maybe other side of the globe. You might also be your own supplier. Barzin Trade Organization can also help you reach these perfect suppliers. For more information, make sure to visit our website. Let's get to step number 4. Step number 4, price your product. You know what product you want to work with and you have identified your target market. Next up is figuring out how much to charge. Typically, the business model on an import-export business is consisted of 2 key understandings. One is the volume of the units sold, and 2 is the commission made on that volume. Be sure to price your product such that your markup won't exceed what a customer is willing to pay. But you don't want to make it so low that you aren't ever going to make any profit. In the import-export industry, importers and exporters usually take 10 to 15% markup above what the manufacturer charges you when you want to buy raw material. With all that mentioned in this step, I want to tell you that there are lots of important topics when it comes to pricing, and you have to understand about those topics if you want to do a successful trade. So my friend, be sure to do more research and study on pricing. Let's get to step number 5. Step number 5, find your customer. Deciding on a market is not the same as finding your customer. You usually need distributors or clients which can take on your products and sell to others. Or you might also have a quality website, which I mentioned earlier, which includes a digital marketing campaign, and your customers may end up finding you. But to get started, check with any local contacts that you have in the area. Contact the area's Chamber of Commerce, trade consulates, and embassies, and so on. These entities might be able to give you a contact list, which can be a vital help for starting your import and export business. Let's get to the step number 6. Step number 6, get the logistics down. Perhaps the most complex aspect of importing and exporting business is the logistics of taking the product created somewhere and selling it somewhere else. When you are operating within a supply chain, which your customer is different than your client, which is also different than your consumer, it will require an extra amount of coordination. Meanwhile, hiring a global freight forwarder is generally a good idea for all import-export businesses, as they'll serve as transport agents for moving cargo, saving you time and energy. Essentially, you will give them information about your business and intentions about your products, and they'll arrange the shipping agreements, insurance, permits, tariffs, and oftentimes the working quotas within another country, which can remove a lot of headache associated with starting an import-export business in an international trade market. I have a good news for you. Barzin Trade Organization can be your global freight forwarder and can serve as your transport agent, taking care of all the procedures needed in order to move your cargo from point A to point B. For more information, don't forget to check the website.